welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making a leek and pancetta quiche. Today we're going to pair this quiche with the beautiful Alsace Riesling from Willem, and I can't wait to show you why this works. For this recipe, you'll need 6 ounces sharp cheddar, 2 ounces Gruyere, 8 ounces diced pancetta, 6 eggs, 1 cup heavy cream, 2 leeks, 1 9-inch prepared pie crust, 1/2 teaspoon sweet paprika, 1 teaspoon sea salt, and fresh cracked black pepper. I was inspired to make this quiche because my sister-in-law makes chicken and leek pie that is so delicious. And I'm going to get her recipe and we're going to do that on a future episode. But today I thought a leek and pancetta quiche would be such a perfect combination. And quiche is the easiest thing to make, best thing to bring over for brunch. I just love an easy, delicious quiche that just fills everyone up, pleases everybody, and is so quick and easy to make. Leeks can be kind of tricky to clean. They get really, really sandy. So I'm going to show you a really easy trick to how I clean my leeks. So you don't want any of the dark green part of the leek. So we can just cut that part right off. And then what I do, I take the first layer of the leek off because this is the layer that's kind of been exposed at the grocery store. So I just take that top layer right off. And then I'm going to cut mine into half moons. So I'll cut it down the center. I'll cut off the very, very end. And then I cut it into my half moons, kind of like side by side. And 2 leeks may look like a lot, but once you start cutting off everything you can't use, it's not really all that much. So 2 large leeks is good for this recipe. And then I just take my half moons. I have a bowl full of cold water here, and I throw them in to let them soak so that the sand and the dirt kind of all falls out. All right, so now I'm just kind of separating the leeks so that all the sand and the dirt can fall to the bottom of the bowl. And then I'll let them soak for just a few minutes here after I kind of separate all the pieces that are stuck together. And then I'll show you how I take them out without getting all that sand and dirt back on them. All right, now I've let my leeks sit in the water for a few minutes and I've separated everything and kind of moved them around. So all of that sand and dirt is sitting at the bottom of my bowl. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the leeks with my hands and bring them to my cloth to dry them so that we're leaving the sand and the dirt sitting at the bottom. I'll be doing this today with really just one hand because I had a little kitchen mishap this morning. I was washing dishes and my husband's 40th birthday glass broke into my hand. So anyway, I'm fine, but I'm going to be not getting that wet. So this process will go a little slower for me. But if you are using both your hands, just scoop up the leeks the best you can off of the top of the bowl. All right, all the leeks are out. Look at all that gross dirt and sand at the bottom, but it did exactly what it's supposed to do. So now my leeks are nice and clean and all the dirt stayed in the bowl. I'm gonna let my leeks dry here for a few minutes. So let's go cook up the pancetta and then we'll come back when these are nice and dry. I love using pancetta in quiche and pasta dishes. It's just like a fattier version of prosciutto really, and to me, it's got like a little bit more of a chew to it than bacon, which I prefer in a quiche than bacon. And I just like the way it kind of holds up to the egg as well. And it's nice and salty, so it kind of gives a lot of flavor. It's just delicious. I'm going to cook these up until they become nice and golden brown and a little bit crispy. And then when they're done, I'm going to add the leeks right to the pancetta. And the little bit of fat that's left over in the pan, it's going to be the perfect cooking oil for the leeks. My leeks are dry and I'm going to go over and add them to my pancetta. But I did say before I wasn't going to drain the fat. It is a little bit too much for me. It is 2 packets, which is the total of 8 ounces. So I'm going to drain off a little bit of that fat, but I'm going to keep some in so that it can really be the cooking oil for my leeks. So they're such a beautiful color. They turn nice golden brown, but see what I mean? There's just a little bit too much fat for me. So I'm going to drain this. I just take a colander and a regular bowl. I sit the colander in the bowl like so. And then I will pour my whole pan into the colander, so that that fat can drain, but I won't put all the pancetta in because I do want to keep some of that fat from my, I keep like probably a couple tablespoons of fat in there. That looks perfect. Now I'll just move around the pancetta a little bit in here, get off all that excess fat. That looks perfect. And then if I need, I have the fat in the bowl in case I feel like I need a little bit more to add later. All right, and we're just gonna add our leeks right on in here. All right, and now we'll cook our leeks until they are a little bit translucent, nice and soft, and cooked down. Our leeks and pancetta are done, and they've gotten nice and golden brown and soft, and I already ate a couple spoonfuls because it's so delicious. And I didn't add any seasoning to this. I just did the leeks and pancetta because I'm going to add a little bit of salt, pepper, and paprika to the quiche. And like I said, the pancetta has enough salt that it's going to hold up to these leeks, so they're perfect as is. So now we're going to put together our quiche. I have to break some eggs, and I don't know how I'm going to do it with this hand, but I'm going to try my very best. I'm actually going to try to do it one-handed. And if I can't do this, my producer best friend is coming on to break these eggs. So we have 6 eggs that we're breaking into a large bowl. I did it. How do you get the egg to crack like with one hand? Stephanie, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. You got to show me how you do it. I broke it with one hand, but I need to separate it with the second. So at least it's less eggy. All right, I'm doing it. Oh, oh, ah! I did it! How did I do that? Okay, let's see if I can replicate. Oh, I figured this out. I don't know how, I can't even give you the tutorial of what I'm doing because I have no idea, but it's working. Ah! One hand cracking. Look at me go. Well, that was a very exciting moment for me because I've never been able to do that. So now I've got my 6 eggs cracked in the bowl, and I'm just gonna whisk those gently. Once you break all your yolks, then you can gradually add your heavy cream. So 1 cup of heavy cream. So whisk together your eggs and your heavy cream, and when those look nice and incorporated, we can add our cheese. So I have 6 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar. I have 2 ounces of shredded Gruyere cheese. I did the medium strength. I don't want super strong Gruyere, so I think the medium will be perfect. And then I'll whisk those. Actually, I will not whisk those. I'll fold those in. All right, and once the cheese is folded in, we'll add our teaspoon of sea salt, a half teaspoon of sweet paprika, and then cracked black pepper to taste. I'm gonna probably do about a half teaspoon of this as well. All right, now I'm going to fold in all my spices until everything is nice and mixed through. I love the paprika because it just gives a little pretty color to this as well. I love paprika. I use paprika in everything. All right, now that our quiche mixture is ready, I'll go get my prepared crust and I'll show you how to assemble. So now I've got my prepared crust. This is a short crust pastry crust. So this is where cooking meets baking. Now, you know me, I love a challenge. Normally, I would be making this from scratch, and I will make this from scratch and show you how I do my short crust. This week was crazy. The hand, a lot of things going on. So I bought Pillsbury for this one, and I'll link it below. It's perfectly fine to do this as well if you're in a little bit of a time crunch. The short crust pastry is very easy to make. It's just that it's time consuming, and you have to kind of prepare it the night before. It's got to sit in the fridge for 24 hours. Your butter has to be ice cold. Your water has to be ice cold. So it's a little particular. Not hard, and we'll do it in another recipe, but this week was not the week for that. So Pillsbury is going to do fine for this one, and my filling is so delicious that that's the main star of the show anyway. So I have this in my 9-inch pie dish. I've also chilled it down so this is nice and cold because everything is a little bit warm and I don't want my pastry crust to start cooking right away. So I did chill it before I'm filling it. Now I'm gonna first add my leeks and pancetta, and I will just put that evenly on the bottom of my pie dish. So now I've put all my leek and pancetta mixture in. We're about 1/3 of the way full here, which is perfect. And then the eggs will kind of sneak through the cracks as well. But I think this looks like the perfect amount of filling. And now we're just gonna add our egg mixture right to this. And then we stick this in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This looks beautiful. I'm just evenly putting the cheese kind of all around so it didn't get like clumped all in one spot, so that cheesy goodness soaks through the entire quiche. This looks gorgeous. It's ready to go in the oven. Now, I did put a big sheet pan in the oven that I'm going to put this directly on just in case we have any leaks. It's going to catch everything. So let's go put this in the oven. Quiche is out of the oven. Girls are eating dinner right here, so you might hear some background noise, but I'm so excited to dig into this. I like mine really nice and done because I love kind of like the golden brown top. And then when we cut it, like the juxtaposition of like that dark top and then the light filling is going to be so beautiful. If you don't like yours as done as this, put it in for 30 to 35 minutes. I left mine in on 400 for 40 minutes, and that gets you this like really nice golden brown top. So I'm so excited to cut into this. But before we do, let me tell you a little bit about this wine. If you know Riesling, you might think of it as being a sweet wine. But if you get a dry Riesling or a sec Riesling, as it's called in France, it's going to be dry or off dry. So just a little bit of residual sugar on that. This is coming from Alsace. Alsace is in French, but it borders Germany. That region has kind of gone back and forth between Germany and France for so long, but it is now part of France. And it's just this beautiful, really vibrant wine. It's got these nice hints of acidity and floral notes. It's got a little bit of petrol, which Riesling is really famous for. I know it's like a weird tasting note, but you do get that in here. And a lot of minerality, which makes it just this clean, pretty wine. But that hint of sweet is what makes it such a good brunch pairing. And the nice vein of acidity that goes to this Riesling is going to cut through that like creamy texture of the quiche. It's going to be the perfect pairing. I'm so excited to try. Let's cut into it. Look at that beautiful slice of quiche. You see what I mean? The dark top looks so pretty against the light inside. And look at all the leek and pancetta coming out of there. That looks incredible. I'm so ready to bite into this. Now I'm serving this warm. You can serve it room temperature or with a little chill on it, however you want it. I think this looks so good. Wow. I thought this was gross. I did not think this was gross. I didn't even try it yet. Okay, ready? I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm so excited. That looks gorgeous. That's so good. Definitely not gross. That's incredible. Let's see how it pairs. Wow. Amazing pairing. The acidity of this is so vibrant against the creaminess of this. The leeks are sweet, so it plays up the sweet on the Riesling. It's a beautiful pairing. I think you're going to love this. Your family's going to love this. Bring it to your next brunch party. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.